Got a second and final update here on the chainsaw milling and what is good and what is bad, and the having the right equipment and now a little bit more know-how made all the difference in the world. As you can see, got quite a pile here now. A lot of 1-inch boards. I have a bunch of really nice 3-inch slabs, and I have some 2-inch slabs under there. These boards, as you can probably tell, are wide, so you definitely need the right equipment for that. I have a few that are probably under 12 inches. Most of them are between 12 up to 16, close to 18 inches on a couple of them. So that takes a lot out of your saw and a lot out of your chains, which is why I've learned the lesson. Having the right equipment is good. I'm stopping here. This is it for this little project. I have my Stihl MS500i, good little saw. Not great for milling. However, I picked up this Grandberg small mill off Facebook Marketplace. It's like brand new for $100. That made a huge difference because that is super easy to use, and I can set it and leave it at that height for all of the first cuts. That worked out really well. Then I didn't have to screw with this one, which is not quite so easy to use. And again, this was just off Amazon, kind of like a Chinese knockoff. The adjustments on that are a pain in the ass, and other than that, it works okay. This saw works fantastic. This is the Stihl MS500i. It's a beast, works really well. The only problems I've run into with this saw, two things I don't like. It's much easier changing the chains on the MS310. Something about that new design and the new sprocket on the back of that I don't quite like. Other issue is that they also changed these. The other ones, these are nuts that come off. These are actually integrated into your, they're like collared nuts, and those are integrated into your side plate here. I don't like that. And the other problem I had with that is, you know, and yeah, Stihl makes some really good saws, good equipment, but come on, Stihl. This one, the back one, about the second time I pulled this off, the whole stud backed out with it. So I'm sitting here thinking, Jesus, I'm screwed now, because I'm not going to be able to finish this project if I have to bring this thing in for service. I was able to get the stud back in and get it nice and tight, and now it doesn't back out when I pull that out. But I mean, it's a brand new saw. I didn't expect to have that problem. And this is not cheap saws, you know. All said and done, you're in about $1,500 to $1,600 for that. So very good equipment. The chains are what I realized was the big thing. This is the Grandberg. Now you're going to notice on this Grandbergs, and I didn't notice this until I actually got them. I didn't know that when I was buying it. Again, I got lucky, you know, kind of blissful ignorance. Every fourth or so tooth on here is a half-width tooth, and like sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two, but that makes a huge difference in the world. The other thing about these Grandberg chains is that they cut so much better, they last longer as far as between sharpening. Way worth that than using the other ones. I have, and it's on here now, not good. You can see the chain started to loosen up a little bit on the last cut, but these are, the brand name is 8, the number 8, and then TEN at the end of it. Got those on Amazon. I think I bought 3 of them. They're both milling chains, quote unquote. However, these are full teeth the whole way. Last nowhere near as long. I can barely get 2 wide cuts out of this before it starts slugging that chainsaw down. Not too happy with that, but once you get the right chains, it works fantastic. Now, I have a bunch of these left over here. I will be setting those over up on the wood pile over there, and then figuring out what to do with some of this stuff. I'll end up cutting it for firewood. This last one here, log, it's very, very full of wormholes, and it's a ton of knots. So I'm going to buck that up in a little bit into firewood sections, and I'll set those off to the side so I can cut those up in the spring for camp wood. I got this left over here as well. I'm keeping this this way. I'm not going to finish milling the boards, specifically because I'm going to take this, set it down right at the end of this turnaround here, right across the front of that, and I'm going to take a wood burner and wood burn an American flag in the middle of it, and have that there for kind of like a stop and a decoration. I don't want anybody accidentally going a little too far, because if they go a little bit too far on this, their vehicle ain't coming back up. So the other thing I did too was that the other day I didn't feel like milling, so I took what was left, and I did a video of that as well, and you can check that out. I'll leave it in the description. But I made a bench for the wood fire pit here out of basically some of the scraps that were left over. It's pretty comfortable. I actually like it. I still have to put it in place correctly where it's going to go, dig it out. I'll do that, at some point, and maybe I'll just sand it down a little bit and put some poly on the back and the seat. But other than that, I'm new, inexperienced at this, and I learned hard lessons as I'm doing it. The biggest lesson I learned was the equipment makes all the difference in the world, doing it with the right stuff. So at first I was pretty intimidated after the first failed attempt, and realized that it's not going to be doable unless I go out and get the right stuff to do it. Now that I got the right stuff, it wasn't all that bad. I was actually very, very happy about it, and was able to get through a lot of this wood, in usually relatively short amount of time. Most of the time I would be able to do anywhere between 2 and 4 logs a day, depending on how big they were, and how much time I wanted to spend on it. But that's it. I'd have to tell you, anybody that wants to do this, and you want to do it for a good time and some fun, and just have some nice wood to do projects with, go ahead and try it. Just do yourself a favor and get some good equipment. I got no skin in this game for Stihl, for Grandberg, for anything. They don't send me products, they don't pay me for anything. So this is just what I've learned from doing things the hard way. And if that helps anybody else out, then so be it. And anybody has any questions, or especially if you have any comments that you can tell me, or hints on making this easier for me as well, just drop it down in the bottom. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.